You are watching DGTV News and Commentary, starring Darren Gilbert. This episode: Muammar Gaddafi dead. Which dictator is next? U.S. troop withdrawal from Iraq. Republicans invade in Nevada. Occupy Wallstreet. Occupy Toronto. DGTV News and Commentary is brought to you by Pat's Blue Ribbon Beer. Crisp, clean, and refreshing. Bullet Bourbon, an amazing bourbon, and by coal, now available in clean coal and providing your family electricity for centuries. Why would you get it from anything else when it's cheap from coal? And now here's the star of DGTV News and Commentary, Darren Gilbert.
Thank you. Libyan dictator Muammar Gaddafi is dead. He was killed by his own people in the streets of Sirte. He was trying to escape Sirte. The compound that he was in was being overrun and his defeat was imminent. He tried to escape in the early morning hours in a compound of 15 vehicles, which were struck down by NATO forces. He then fled the vehicles, where he was captured in a sewer hole by rebels. He was wounded and ended up being killed. This is good news for freedom in the world, that this tyrannical dictator is now dead. However, the United Nations has decided to spoil the party because they want an investigation into how the dictator died, because it's against the law for people to kill a tyrannical dictator. Way to welcome them into the free world, United Nations, you bunch of idiotic nerds. You do everything backwards there. It does not matter how he died. It only matters that he is no longer in power and that he is dead. NATO deserves congratulations in the way that this operation was conducted. NATO, of course, includes my country, Canada, which had a key role in this, France, the United Kingdom, and of course the United States, where this is a foreign policy success for Obama. And I will acknowledge that, even though I'm not a fan of Barack Obama's. Item. Speaking of Barack Obama, he is now going to withdraw all U.S. troops from Iraq at the end of this year. In my opinion, that is hasty. There are currently 40,000 U.S. troops there. It should be a gradual withdrawal so that Iraq is safe from Iran. By hastily withdrawing all troops by the end of this year, for political reasons, it puts Iraq at risk to influence and military intervention from Iran. And Iran is a problem that Obama has not been able to deal with, and part and parcel because the UN cannot even sanction effective economic sanctions against Iran, because idiots like Dmitry Medvedev from Russia and of course China always oppose such economic sanctions. They always side with the dictators of the world. Well, which dictator will fall next? Perhaps it will be Venezuela's Hugo Chavez. He described Gaddafi as a martyr, and that this was U.S. Foreign intervention and old-fashioned imperialism. Of course, it's not, but Chavez always sides with all dictators of the world. Well, this could happen to you one day, Hugo. You might be in the streets of Venezuela being overthrown by your own people one day. Or will it be Bashar Assad? It's already happening in Syria. The people are taking to the streets and being butchered by the army. And I have been reminded by a source in the background of Cuba as well. That is still a dictatorship with the Castro brothers in charge, and this could very well happen to the Castro brothers one day or their successors. In Syria, in my opinion, we should be providing ammunition and munitions to the rebels there in order to begin the overthrow of Bashar Assad. What about Vladimir Putin? Might this happen to him one day? It has been announced that Dmitry Medvedev, as he ends the conclusion of his second term as president of Russia, and there is a 2-term limit in Russia, good old Prime Minister Vladimir Putin has announced he's going to run for president. He was there for 2 terms, as you will recall, and then became prime minister, and Dmitry Medvedev was elected for 2 terms. Now Putin is coming back. When they made the constitution in Russia, someone should have said 2 terms without any returns. It was assumed, but not put in there, and Putin will use this technicality to take back power. But it is an election, and perhaps someone else will win. Not. Russian elections are still fixed like in the old Soviet days. There was a chess player that challenged Dmitry Medvedev in the last presidential election. That was the most effective opponent, and he was put in prison for the duration of the election. The media there, the newscasts, are also controlled by the Russian media. So I encourage Russian people to find someone to rise up and run against Putin, and for you all to support him. You recall Putin made one error when he was president first time round. He was in a crowd and there was a small boy, and he lifted up the boy's shirt and gave the boy a wet kiss on his stomach, and then he realized what he had just done was on camera and said it was a perfectly natural reaction. That is the real Vladimir Putin. It does not prove that Vladimir Putin is a pedophile, but it was a very creepy thing for him to do in public, and I've always wondered about him since then. That is something that could be brought up perhaps in a presidential debate if there's a credible enough opponent to challenge him. Item: Republican national debate in Nevada. The Republican candidates for president, sans Gary Johnson, because he's less than 1% in the poll, Gary Johnston, and former Utah Governor John Huntsman, who boycotted it, which was absolutely silly on his part. The remaining candidates attended a debate in Nevada, and it got very heated. Former Governor Rick Perry would not let Governor Mitt Romney complete a sentence without interrupting him and scolding him, and CNN moderator Anderson Cooper would not interrupt. Therefore, Mitt Romney had to very uncharacteristically yell back at Rick Perry in order to make him finally shut up. He even put his hand on his shoulder to make him shut up. And this was all over an argument that Perry was making, that Mitt Romney is a hypocrite on illegal immigration because he allowed some people to cut his grass in, I think it was 1998, and it turned out the lawnmower people were illegal aliens. However, it only takes looking to the other side of the story to realize how small this is. When Romney was made aware of this at the time, he told the landscaping company he could not have illegal aliens cutting his grass, and he told them to find some other workers to cut his lawn. And then they came in with some other workers who were also illegals, and then Romney ended his relationship with that company. You see, Rick Perry, not so hard to figure out the whole truth. Meanwhile, Rick Perry doesn't want a fence and pandered to illegal aliens by providing Texas tuition fees for them. So Rick Perry came out of this debate looking very small. All of the other candidates performed well. Herman Cain was piled on for his 999 plan and looked a little bit nervous at times, but held his ground, and is still tied at the top of the polls with Mitt Romney. As you know, DGTV has endorsed Congresswoman Michelle Bachmann and is hoping she will make a comeback. Item: Occupy Wall Street, Occupy Toronto. The protests in the United States by the so-called 99%ers who are taking to the streets complaining about Wall Street and corporations also brought their protests to Toronto last weekend, where only hundreds showed up in a disorganized protest where no unified slogan could be found. Basically, this is a group of ragtag Marxist, Leninists, anarchists, spoiled brats, and lazy people. A study in the States shows that, believe it or not, a lot of these people that were taking to the street do have jobs, 85% of them. So they're not all unemployed. They just don't want to work. They're tired of working for a living, and they'd like the government to look after them. Unlike the Tea Party, which wants smaller government, more freedom, and lower taxes, they want more government spending, and higher taxes and more regulation. That's what these people want. And that is it for another episode of DGTV News and Commentary. I hope you've been enjoying our Sid and Marty Krofft expose special this past week on DGTV. We still have a few more postings, which we will be posting this coming week. I'm Darren Gilbert, and you have yourself a very good week.